You've been sold a lie, and it's making you weaker. Every self-help guru, every motivational speaker, every Instagram quote tells you the same thing. Think positive, visualize success, manifest your dreams. They promise you that optimism is the key to everything you want. But here's the truth they won't tell you. Positive thinking is a cognitive trap. And the more you rely on it, the less capable you become of handling reality. This isn't motivational. This isn't comfortable. But if you want actual results instead of feel-good delusions, you need to hear this. Here's what's happening. You're addicted to the feeling of progress without doing the work of progress. Psychologists call this goal substitution. Your brain gets a dopamine hit from imagining success, visualizing the outcome, feeling the emotions of achievement, and it mistakes that fantasy for actual accomplishment. You feel productive, you feel motivated, but nothing changes. Studies show that people who spend excessive time visualizing positive outcomes actually perform worse than those who don't. Why? Because your brain has already received the reward. The psychological tension that drives action, the gap between where you are and where you want to be, has been artificially resolved. You've tricked yourself into complacency, but it gets worse. Positive thinking doesn't just kill your motivation, it destroys your ability to handle obstacles. When you're conditioned to expect everything to work out, you become psychologically fragile. The moment reality doesn't match your optimistic projection, you collapse. This is called defensive pessimism versus strategic optimism, and most people get it backwards. Defensive pessimists, people who anticipate obstacles, envision worst-case scenarios, and prepare for failure, consistently outperform blind optimists. Not because they're negative, but because they're prepared. They've already mentally rehearsed the challenge. They've pre-solved the problem. Meanwhile, the positive thinker walks in unprepared, gets blindsided by the first real obstacle, and crumbles because their entire strategy was built on hope instead of reality. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He deliberately visualized everything that could go wrong so that when it did, he was unshakable. That's not pessimism, that's strategic resilience. And here's the neuroscience. Your brain strengthens through stress inoculation, not stress avoidance. When you mentally rehearse failure, you build the neural pathways for problem-solving under pressure. When you only visualize success, you train yourself to freeze when things go wrong. Positive thinking is a comfort mechanism. It's not a performance strategy. You're not building strength. You're building a glass house, and reality is coming with a hammer. If this is hitting you differently than the usual motivational garbage, subscribe now. This channel doesn't exist to make you feel good. It exists to make you dangerous, mentally sharp, emotionally resilient, strategically ahead. Hit that button if you're done with delusions and ready for results. Let me be clear. I'm not telling you to be negative. I'm telling you to be realistic. There's a concept in psychology called the Stockdale Paradox, named after Admiral James Stockdale, a prisoner of war in Vietnam for 8 years. When asked who didn't survive, he said, "The optimists." They kept saying, "We'll be out by Christmas," and then Christmas would come and go. They'd say, "We'll be out by Easter," and Easter would pass. Eventually, they died of broken hearts because their optimism made them fragile. Stockdale survived because he accepted the brutal reality of his situation while maintaining faith in the ultimate outcome. He didn't lie to himself. He didn't need false hope. He was grounded in reality, and that made him unbreakable. That's the difference. Optimism without realism is escapism, and escapism is just another word for weakness. So here's your choice. You can keep feeding yourself positive affirmations, visualizing your perfect life, and wondering why nothing ever changes. You can stay addicted to the feeling of progress while your life stays exactly the same. Or you can accept this harsh truth. Real strength comes from facing reality as it is, not as you wish it were. Prepare for obstacles, expect resistance, visualize failure, and then strategize past it. That's how you build resilience. That's how you build competence. That's how you actually win. The people who succeed aren't the ones who think positive. They're the ones who think clearly. Now you know. What you do with it is up to you. Subscribe if you're ready to stop lying to yourself. Or don't, and stay exactly where you are.